So I know most of y'all, I have met, I think all of y'all, but just to introduce ourselves, I'm Nathan. I'm the head coach. I've been with Capital for 11 years now, I think, and the head coach of the program for the last 3. So I think this will be my 3rd year of being the head Club PM coach. I actually started rowing at Club PM, so you can get at least good at telling people what to do. And I'll try to make you good at actually doing it too. So this year I am joined with 2 assistant coaches, at least for the time being. We have Sarah Montgomery, who you all have rowed with, and Steve Newman, who has been my assistant coach for like 8 years or something like that now. So that's us. We're looking forward to a good season. We are going to get out in the water today. Lightning is 180 miles away. Just so you know, we never cancel practice, ever. I think we've done it like twice, and it was because of a hurricane. And so what we do when we can't go out in the water is we erg, we do body weights, all that kind of stuff. Our standard is if lightning is within 10 miles, we don't go out, okay? Or if the wind is what we consider unsafe, we will not go out, just so you all know. So a couple of things about PM, which I'm sure that Bridget has talked about before, but just want to make sure everyone's on the same page. We don't have an attendance policy. Come when you want to. I recommend going more than once every month or something like that. It's a waste of your money and you will get very out of shape and be frustrated. Come to practice when you can. We understand. You don't need to tell me if you're not going to make it to practice. Just don't make it to practice. We'll make do. Okay. Racing. Club PM will be racing. We're going to have several regattas during the summer and in the fall. You are not obligated to race. If you want to race, great. If you don't want to race, great. When I was on PM, I never once raced because I hate it. But a lot of people race at every race. Feel free to do that too. We'll have more information as those come out. So, as a quick overview of what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks, we're going to be doing relatively easy days on Monday and Wednesday, and relatively harder days on Tuesdays and Thursdays. As you got the email from Bridget, we are canceling Sunday practices for the spring season until we can find additional coaching. And so we're going to talk about maybe organizing a land workout, that kind of thing, for that time period, so you guys can, you know, erg more or whatever you want to do. But that's for the time being. So the season overall, we're going to be peaking for 2 regattas. Okay, the first one is going to be Masters Nationals. That one's actually, you can drive to it this year, which is beneficial. And the other one is going to be headed to Schuylkill. Okay, so Masters Nationals is like August 15th or something like that, and the Schuylkill is October 26th. Something like that. So those are going to be the things that we're actually peaking for. Obviously, if you're not racing, you're just going to be following along with everyone else. It's going to get harder and then easier and then harder and then easier. Just a big periodized cycle. Does that make sense for the season overview? Kind of what we're looking for? Cool. So a couple of things that we are doing differently from last year. First one is going to be more emphasis on smaller boats. So that means pair and double. Okay. Now, there's especially if you're new to this, you are not going to be in a pair or a double. You will be in the water, and we don't want that. So as you get more and more experience, as it gets easier and easier to row an 8-well, we'll make it harder and harder by putting you in smaller and smaller boats. So be prepared for that. The other thing that we're going to try to do more this year is sculling, okay? Now, I know we just changed our name to Evening Sweep, but we're going to go sculling more anyway. We are very lucky to have a partnership with Gonzaga, who have a octuple, which means we can have 8 people scull in one boat this year. So y'all will be able to be in... Huh? And we can't flip. Well, we shouldn't say that, but you would have to try. No one should try to flip, but so we'll be able to put 7 or 8 people in a boat together. We have a couple of Cox quads. We've got a million doubles, all that kind of stuff. Priority will always go to the scullers, who also have a program at our time. But I'd like to get more people involved with that. If for any reason you don't want to scull, I would say it basically the only injury would be a good reason for that. Come and talk to me. We'll make sure that you're not in there. I will say that the single thing that made me better, or the single most effective thing for my sweep rowing, was learning to scull. You learn a lot more about how you interact with the boat. It's much more balanced. We don't have to worry about injuries quite the same way. So, and it's fun. So why not do it? The other thing is just for coxing. So a lot of you are familiar with our system, but we just rotate. Okay, there will be a coxing list that will go out that is automatically populated based upon your attendance. So it's going to be approximately, it worked out to last year, about 1 in 6 to 8 times that you're here that you're going to be coxing. That's based around there being 9 people in an 8 and 5 people in a 4, and one of those people has to cox. We don't have any full-time coxswains, so y'all are responsible for it. We're going to help you out. To that end, we actually yesterday went out and I recorded a coxing session of me coxing. And we went through the whole thing. So I will be posting that on YouTube tonight so that you guys can take a look at it and just get an idea of what to do. It should also give you comfort that you are not the wrong size to cox. I am 6'3", 275 pounds, and I fit sort of. So you guys can make it happen. And most of you all are familiar with this anyway. If you have any questions about it, we're always there to help you with this. We know that this is a difficult thing, particularly when you're starting out, and we want to make sure you're comfortable. Yes? So I believe, and I'm not certain about the dates or anything like that, we will have a coxing clinic of some kind. It's usually put on by the one of the AM rowers, so to get people involved in that. And then if you're ever in the coxing seat, we're there right next to you. Worst case, you don't have to really do anything other than not hit stuff. Now, we try to support you as coaches as much as we can. We're gonna be there, we're gonna tell you exactly what to do. We're gonna bring back coxing cards again, so you'll have a sheet that will tell you exactly what you're supposed to be doing at any given time. So you don't have to think about that. If in the video, for the first half of practice, I just do calls and I just steer. And that's all you're ever expected to do. I don't care what anyone else in the boat says. If you call and you steer properly, that's success and that's what we want, okay? If you want to add on more from there, great. We can do some encouragement, that kind of stuff, but really just steer, don't hit stuff, and make sure you're running practice as based on the cards. So we did a sort of something like warm-up before, but I've got a new warm-up that we're going to do. I won't demo it today, we'll demo it tomorrow, but I'll post it up so that everyone knows what it is. It's basically an opportunity for you guys to get your hips and shoulders mobilized a little bit, and for me to get enough time to actually do lineups. So make sure we're doing that at the beginning of practice. I recommend, particularly if you have a history of injuries or anything like that, that you thoroughly warm up before practice. We're going to have a certain amount of time on the water to warm up, but you're not going to have any time to stretch or whatever that happens to be. So this is a relatively short warm-up. It should take about 5 minutes. It's not very much warm-up, so try to use an opportunity before that if you think you need it. Am I missing anything? No? We're good so far for the sort of administrative? Waivers. Oh, right. Sign your waivers or you won't row, okay? Do it with Bridget right now. Once we get down to it, everyone's going to pay their annual membership and their program fees. Starting next week, you won't row if you don't have those, okay? So make it so that Bridget doesn't have to do a lot of work and chase you. Just get it